Thought we'd talk a little baseball this morning with the World Series going on, Cubs and Indians, and really fun to have Jim Willis with us this morning. He lives in Boise, and he pitched for the Cubs back in 1953 and 1954. Jim, thanks for coming over.
We are just honored to have you here this morning, Mr. Jim.
Well, I am too.
Thank you.
Well, just talk a bit about this World Series. You pitched for the Cubs. You know, they haven't won, since 1908. They haven't been in the World Series since 1945, I believe.
Yes, right.
So this is, I'm sure, of special interest to you, huh?
Yeah, I was on my way to Germany on a boat in 1945 when they were playing, and coming back on the boat, they were playing again. Well, the World Series, Joe Garagiola and Howie Paulette was pitching.
Right.
And I listened on the boat. Going over there, we didn't have radios or anything. Got seasick.
I can imagine. And what memories, Jim, do you have from pitching with the Cubs those 2 years? What stands out to you?
I guess winning my first game.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, you won a few games, didn't you?
Yeah, I won
Tell
two.
us about it. How was it?
Well, I was chasing fly balls in the outfield during batting practice, and Charlie Root came out and said, "You're pitching today." I said, "Good night, Charlie. Why didn't you tell me yesterday?"
Tell me a little earlier.
Yeah. So I pitched, and I went all the way.
Yeah, pitched a complete game.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Charlie Root was, if you remember, Babe Ruth pointing to the center field.
Right.
And Charlie Root was the pitcher.
I didn't know that.
And he was my pitching coach with the Cubs. And when we had batting practice, I would point to center field. He was through batting practice.
Point to center field all the time.
Did it work for you?
No, he bounced the ball to me to bat, and I had to hit it off a bounce.
Yeah. What about your memories of pitching at Wrigley Field? Kind of an iconic park.
Well, we didn't have lights then,
Right, all day games back then.
I love that. After the game, you go play a round of golf.
That worked out pretty good, yeah, because the days were longer, so
Daylight
you could play baseball,
saving
and you still had plenty of daylight. Following this, the World Series, what's your take on the World Series so far?
The Cubs.
You rooting for the Cubs?
And that's not a fair question, is it?
Yeah. Well, the Cubs did win last night.
Yeah, they won.
So the series is now even. They looked good last night.
They stayed off that curveball. They can't hit curves in the league anymore.
So if you were pitching right now, is that what you would throw a lot of?
That's what I threw when I played.
You were a curveball pitcher, huh?
Yes.
You think the Cubs are going to win the World Series?
Oh, yeah.
How many games? You think it goes 6, 7 games?
6.
6? Yeah, that's my pick. My prediction was Cubs in 6. The game last night, it switches to Wrigley Field now, Friday night.
Right.
So what's your take now with the World Series going over to Chicago for the weekend?
Well, the home, the advantage, it has a lot to do with it. And they're just a good team. They have a real good team.
They have a good, solid starting pitching staff.
And they're all young.
Yeah, they're good. Quickly, we're running out of time. You wrote a autobiography called My Baseball Story. Just tell us a bit about that, and we'll get a shot of it with the camera.
Well, I don't know how I got started. My kids want me to write about my baseball.
Well, sure.
So
Yeah, why not?
I just wrote a little, drew cartoons in it, which I like better than writing.
Went to Northwestern State, live in Boise, and at one time you were principal.
Principal at Boise High School.
Yeah.
Played a little basketball.
Played Northwestern basketball 4 years.
Well, Jim, thanks for coming. Good to have you.
It was a delight having you on this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us.
And go Cubs, right?
Go Cubs.
More to come. Stay with us on this Thursday.